Hello, my name is Maria and welcome to your yoga class. Today's class is a balance yoga flow and I am going to try to keep it all levels with our handy dandy friend, Mr. Wall, Paul the Wall. So if you have a wall close by to you today, I recommend using it, but if you don't and you want to challenge yourself, feel free to step away from the wall today. I'll be practicing close to a wall, close to several walls. If you want to have one handy, that's fine. If you don't, if you want to challenge yourself, that's great, go for it. But I will cue on and off of that. So option is yours. I'm going to try to keep it all levels, offer up variations for whatever energy level you're feeling today. Honestly, some days are different than others. And even if you are someone who has practiced this kind of yoga for a while, maybe you're coming back to it, maybe you're exploring new movement, whatever the case is, I invite you to just explore a beginner mindset today. What that means is just imagine that you are relearning and take it slow and take it easy. So we're going to start on our mats. Start at the top of your mat. Bring your feet either hip width apart or together, or even a little bit wider. We're going to ground down into Tadasana mountain pose. Find a slight bend in the knees here. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Relax the arms down by your sides. Take a big inhale whenever you're ready and start to lift your fingertips up towards the sky. Big exhale, take your elbows out, coming into cactus arms, bending your arms at 90 degrees. Lift the chest just slightly. And then relax the arms down by your sides. Place your hands onto your hips. We're going to start by stepping the left foot back towards the back of the mat. Open up towards that left long side of the mat. Line it up so that the front heel intersects with the back left arch. Start to bend into that right foot, coming into a warrior two. Extend your arms out into a T position. Your knee doesn't have to be 100% 90 degrees. It can be a little bit of 45, whatever you're feeling today. We're going to start by grounding down here. Take a big inhale in. On your next exhale, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And then from here, maybe try to drag and draw the pinkies back so that your shoulder blades draw towards one another. On your next exhale, bring your left hand towards that left thigh. Lift the right arm up towards the sky. Take a big inhale here. And then on your next exhale, bring the right fingertips towards the back of the mat, finding a gentle reverse warrior. Feel free to bring your left hand towards your shin, but try to keep it maybe onto your thigh or your shin here. Not putting too much pressure or weight into the knee area on its own. Whenever you're ready, lift that right arm back up towards the sky. Straighten out through that right leg. Might be getting a little bit tired, and that's okay. And then from here, we're going to keep the same position. So just straightening out the leg, but same position as warrior two. So front heel intersecting the back right arch. And then lift the arms into a T. We're going to shift forward as far as you can until you can't shift or reach your right arm forward anymore. And then from here, you're going to drop the right arm towards the ground, left arm up. So you're coming into maybe a 12 and a 6 position if you're thinking of a clock. Feel free to, if you have blocks here, feel free to bring them. And then maybe just use that to lean in, but also maybe explore using the wall here. So if you're close to a wall and you're in this position, just bring your right hand to that wall as you try to lift and twist as you open up. And then slowly lift yourself and your torso back up. So staying in that same position, front heel intersecting with that back arch once again, bringing that left hand or that right hand to the wall, or even that left hand to the wall. We're going to bend into that right knee again. Bring the right hand to the wall wherever you'd like, maybe a little lower. As you push off with that right foot, and you're going to just come on to that right leg. So feel free to use the wall here to lean in with your hand. And if you'd like to, you can always just bring your right hip to the wall, and this will help also just keep your balance. So we're coming into a half moon pose. If you'd like to just challenge yourself and you're just on the mat, feel free to bring your fingertips onto the ground as you lift off with that left foot. And then another option is to lift off with that right hand to come into a floating Andhra Chandasana, half moon pose. Feel free to come out of it whenever you'd like, go back into it. But if you'd like to stay here for one more breath. And big exhale, and then ground down through that left foot. That right area may be doing a lot of work, so feel free to shake out the hips if you need to here. And then from here, you're going to pivot so both feet face towards the front of the mat. So lift that back left heel. We're going to come into a high lunge. So a couple of options here. Rock back and forth on that back left foot. To shift on all of your weight onto your right, we're going to step onto that, bouncing on that right foot, and immediately lift that left knee up. Or option to step it up, meeting your right foot first. And here's where the wall will come in handy too. So you're going to step it up and then lift that left knee up. So you're going to lift it up as high as you can. Maybe it comes 45, maybe it comes 90, maybe it comes higher than that. Whatever feels good. Maybe you squeeze that right glute to help you stabilize a little bit more here. And then from here, you're going to take the left knee out as far as you can. And then take the left knee down. And then take it back so it meets your right knee. And we're kind of finding just a big circle here. So lift the left knee up as high as you can towards your chest and then out. And then take the knee down. And then have it meet your right again. One more time. Left knee up and out and down to meet the right. And then feel free to ground down that through that left foot. Place both feet on the ground, shake out that right. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So step that right foot back towards the back of the mat. This time, and we're going to stack or line up the front left heel with the back right arch. Coming into a warrior two on the other side, start to bend into that left knee and bring the arms out into a T position. Take a big inhale in here, relax the shoulders down and maybe take the pinkies back to try to draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Wherever you are, take another big exhale. And then bring your right hand to that back right thigh. Lift the left hand up. Take another big inhale here. And then on your next exhale, take the left fingertips towards the back of the mat, finding a gentle stretch and reverse warrior here. Once again, having your right hand on your thigh or on your shin, wherever you are. And then return that left arm towards the sky, returning your torso back towards center. You're going to straighten out through that left leg, coming into a triangle pose. And if you have a wall, once again, we're going to use it, so feel free to come over there. Bring your arms out into a T and then lean forward, lean your left arm forward until you can't lean forward anymore. And then drop that left arm towards the ground, right arm towards the sky, just coming into 6 and 12. Your right arm doesn't even have to touch, it can float. And you don't have to bend that far, just as far as you want to bend. Take another big inhale here. Take another big exhale. And then slowly lift your torso back up. Once again, feel free to use the wall for whatever part of this that you want to or need to, or step away from the wall. All right, and then from here, we're going to bend into that left foot once again, or left knee. Bring the left hand either onto the ground in front of that left foot or onto the wall, onto the lower wall. You're going to push off with that left foot and lift it, keeping your hips open, just coming into a half moon pose so your toes are pointing towards the long right side of the mat, or so towards that right side. And then if you're on the ground, it might look a little bit like this if you're away from a wall. Wherever you are, take another big inhale here. On your exhale, option to either release your hand from the wall, stay where you are, or if you're on the ground, to maybe lift your fingertips slowly off of the ground. And then whenever you're ready, step that right foot back, grounding back down. Pivot on that back right foot, coming into a high lunge. Once again, a couple of options. You can rock back and forth, and without touching the ground, just lift it straight up, or you can do a pit stop next to that left foot, and then lift the right knee up. If you're near a wall, use that to help you balance. And then from here, you're going to take the right knee out towards the right, and then down, and then to meet the right, or to meet the left. So up, out, down, and then to meet the left. Up, out, down, and then to meet the left. One more time, up, out, down, to meet the left. Okay, and then ground down through that right foot. So place that right foot on the ground and shake it out. Shake out whatever you need to. If you're near a wall, once again, we're gonna use it. Place your right hand on that wall or your left. It doesn't really matter, just whatever support you need. We're gonna lift both arms or one arm up towards the sky. Keep that left foot grounded, holding onto the ground. Start to put a little bit more weight in it as you lift your right foot up. And this time you're just gonna lift the right foot up and back. So you're gonna slowly swing that right heel back and up as we come into a warrior one. Arms extend forward, torso starts to drop a little bit so it's more parallel to the floor. But once again, if you're at a 45-degree angle here, that's completely fine. Just try to keep a straight line from your heel all the way up to your shoulder. So try not to hyperextend or round through too much. Take another big inhale here, big exhale, and slowly drop that right foot onto the ground. Lift the left arm up towards the sky or both arms, and then release everything to your sides. Take a little break. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you wanna switch sides and maybe practice the other arm, feel free to do that. You're gonna lift both arms up towards the sky, take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're gonna start to rock forward, lift the left leg back and up, keeping straight line from the back left heel towards your hip and then up towards your shoulder, almost tick-tocking forward as best you can. Take another big inhale here, the big exhale, and slowly rock back to bring that left foot onto the ground. Release both hands down by your side. You're gonna step your right foot back towards the back of the mat. Ground your hands down to frame that left foot, if that feels okay, just for a moment. And then we're gonna drop that back right knee. From here, heel toe your left foot out a little bit wider than your hip, so maybe towards the edge of the mat, but wider than your shoulders as well, so that both of your hands nestle inside of that left foot. If you have blocks here, option to bring them to place your left hand or your hands underneath, or option to just bring your fingertips to the ground or coming into a lizard pose. Bring your elbows up to the ground as another option if that feels good. But wherever you are, just make sure that you can take deep, full breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. If it helps, maybe lifting that back right knee, try to do that. Come into a lizard runner's lunge. And then whenever you're ready, drop that back right knee again. If it's not, heel toe that left foot in, lift the back toe, or curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and rock back forward to bring that right foot to meet the left. And then you're just gonna find yourself maybe in a forward fold. Place your hands on the ground and step the left foot back this time. You can do the same thing and maybe option to ground that left knee onto the ground. Heel toe that right foot a little bit wider than hip width, a little bit wider than shoulder width, maybe to the edge of your mat. And then option two, bring your blocks here. Help use that to lift you up or to bring your elbows onto the ground. So whatever you're feeling today, the option is yours. We're just taking a little bit of a break. Still finding some balance in this pose. And then once again, option to lift the back left knee if that helps, or if you're practicing a little bit more balance today. But balance also requires a little bit of strength and mobility in our legs, so we gotta make them strong. Whenever you're ready, heel toe that right foot back towards center. Curl the back toes under, lift the back right knee, and just step, take a few steps or one big step to rock forward and bring that left foot to meet the right. We're gonna find ourselves in a forward fold once again. Bend the knees here as much as you need to. Bring the feet a little bit together, more together than you normally would. Maybe bring the toes to touch, maybe bring the heels a little bit apart. If that feels good. If not, try to do just hip width or whatever feels good here. We're just gonna come into a different variation of chair pose. As you start to sink your hips a little bit lower, bend your knees, and then whenever you're ready, lift your torso up off of your thighs. So we're coming into a chair pose. Feel free to sit into an imaginary chair as much as you need to, and you can even be a 45-degree angle. I mean, if you need to come out of it, feel free. My legs are already burning. So we're going to take our arms up towards the sky. Once again, if you're near a wall, feel free to use that for a little bit of stability. And then from here, option to lift the left toes off of the ground and to cross that ankle over the right thigh, coming into a figure 4 position. Bring the arms down by your sides to your lap, or Anjali Mudra, palms together and at heart center. And then start to sink your hips a little bit more if that feels good. Staying here for a second, bring your hands to the wall if you are near a wall as well. And then straighten out a little bit more through that right leg, uncross that left one and bring it onto the ground. We're going to bend the hips, bend the knees, and we're going to find ourselves in a chair pose once again. Same thing on the other side. Start to lift the right foot off of the ground. Grab onto that wall, cross that right ankle over that left, coming into a figure 4, flex those right toes back, and sink your hips as much as you can, as much as it feels good. Take another big inhale, and exhale and straighten out your left leg, uncross that right, and return your right foot next to that left foot. We're gonna meet in a mountain pose, Tadasana, and just take a moment here to return to your breath. Return maybe to the sound of your breath, to the speed of your breath. Just noticing. Are you trying to catch your breath? Are you taking deep breaths or slow breaths? Notice what's going on with your breath. And then if your eyes were closed, feel free to open them. If they were already open, we're just going to do one final balancing pose. It's tree pose. So this one can be done near a wall, near a chair, or on its own as well. And we have a couple of variations for that as well. So feel free to grab onto that wall. We're going to turn the left toes out, lift the left heel, and then option to bring that left heel towards the right ankle or maybe the right shin, right calf. Option 1 is to stay here as you allow the hip to open up a little. If you're looking for a little bit more sensation, maybe lift the right foot off of the ground this time and bring it to the inner shin of that right foot. A third option is to lift the left foot even with the help of your hand, to bring it to your inner thigh. Try not to put a lot of pressure on your knee and try not to lean into your knee here. Try not to sink in here, so lift up and maybe squeeze that right glute to help a little bit more stability here. If you wobble, if you come out of it, that's completely fine. And just come back into it as many times as you need to. Option to bring your hands to heart center if you want to try to balance yourself a little bit more. Take one more big inhale here. And big exhale out through the nose. Return that left foot towards the ground, left toes towards the front, and we're going to turn the right toes out towards the right. And we're going to do the same thing. So option was to bring the right heel towards the left ankle or left shin. Another option is to bring it up and lift it up so that it's not touching the ground and just into that left shin. And then a third option is to bring your right heel and foot to the inside of that left thigh. Feel free to grab onto the wall as much as you need to here, step away from the wall as much as you need to, and then maybe squeeze that or engage that left glute to help you find a little bit more stability here through that left leg. Option to challenge yourself and maybe tap away from the wall for a little bit, and if you come out, that's completely fine. If you wobble, embrace it, take it as learning. Take one more big inhale here. One more big exhale out through the nose. And then release your right leg very slowly, putting it back down onto the ground, toes facing towards the front. Mountain pose one last time. Take a big inhale in. Fill up the entire lower belly, torso. Option to close the eyes as you tune in for a moment. And then big exhale out through the nose. Relax the shoulders down. Try to soften the muscles of your face. One more big inhale to fill up your entire body. Feel it reach even your toes. Biggest inhale you've taken in all day. Big exhale to release all the breath out. Release any tension that you're feeling. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you'd like to close out the practice with me, feel free to just join your hands and bring them to heart center. Feel free to bow your head in gratitude for taking the time to practice, to challenge your mind, to challenge your body, or maybe just to move it. Sending lots of love and light from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to lift your gaze, relax the palms of your hands, and move on with the rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, night, week, weekend, year. I'll see you next time, friends.